Today I want to continue with the Egyptian history. We will begin at 1323 before Christ. So now we are at 1323 BC. So what happened there? The first point was that the pharaoh Tutankhamun died in a young age. So when we remember the last lectures that we heard, we know Tutankhamun as the pharaoh who turned back the Aten revolution that his predecessor Akhenaten started. And Tutankhamun was not that of a very meaningful king, so he reigned only for about 10 years and didn't really do much. And when he died, 1323, there was a problem because he died so young that he didn't have any successor. And that was a problem in the throne succession order because that meant that without a king or without a legitimate king who succeeded him, Egypt got weakened and became politically unstable. And the Hittites saw that, so we also knew that the Hittites had a strong rivalry with the Egyptians about who would be the dominating power in the Middle East. And they also saw the problems of the kingdom of Mitanni. Because at the same time, the kingdom of Mitanni, which we can see in this map in the green color, was also in problems, in throne succession problems. And Mitanni could not recover from these throne succession problems. And since Mitanni also got weak, what the Hittites now did, they used that in order to invade the Mitannian Empire, and they conquered the Mitannian Empire. So first, the Mitannian Empire became a vassal state of the Hittites, and then the Hittites annexed it fully and made it into a province. And this is how the Mitannian Empire ended around 1300 BC. And as you can think, the Egyptians didn't think of that very good, and that is why, because the Egyptians and the Mitannians were allies. Now the Egyptians lost the Mitannians, and they lost an important ally in the Middle East region. And this is why the rivalry between the Hittites and the Egyptians grew even more. So Mursili II was the king who conquered West Anatolia, advanced to Syria, so who conquered the area of the Mitannian Empire and consolidated it. And why couldn't Egypt then in turn attack the Hittites and restore Mitanni? Because Egypt itself was in the throne succession problems. So they had inner problems, and they couldn't do anything about foreign politics because at that moment they were too weak. With the end of the 18th dynasty, so Tutankhamun was the last king of the 18th dynasty who had a relatively stable reign. Shortly after that, so about 30 years after him, the 19th dynasty came to power. And the 19th dynasty, together with the 12th and the 18th dynasty, is known to be one of the most influential dynasties in ancient Egyptian history. Now, the first king of the 19th dynasty was Sethos I. And what was the goal of Sethos I? Sethos I saw that the Hittites grew stronger and stronger. And therefore, he saw the Hittites as the biggest danger for the Egyptians. And therefore, his goal was to renew the Egyptian domination over the Middle East region and keep the power of the Hittites small, keep them down. And that is why the rivalry between the Hittites and the Egyptians, that it was only a matter of time when this rivalry would escalate into war. What he also started, and what the following kings after him continued,